Hi everybody. All right. One, I want to say I'm getting the song in my head, and it just popped in before I started doing the reading. I believe it's Lucille by Anthony Hamilton. The other thing is, I want to go back to this part, and this is me asking, why did this happen? For some reason, I remember a reader saying, somebody went missing and she kept picking up on the person had passed. And when that person appeared, she said she was picking up on the spirit, the soul of the person that had passed. So it was kind of like she was dead because of everything she's been through. And I totally agree with this. So I think in this case, hopefully, fingers crossed, there's a chance she could just possibly be alive. So I'm going to go back to this. This is the Knight of Swords, Six of Wands. So again, the Knight of Swords, quick, hasty movement. Victorious, quick, hasty movement. Three of Wands, waiting on a direction, seeking direction, waiting, but there's a plan. Six of Swords, this to me is movement, but like I said yesterday, this, now Six of Swords twice. So I have a feeling she was in seclusion. This is lost by theft. The other meaning of this particular card. But the Six of Swords to me has come out in plenty of cases where people disappear and want to start a new life somewhere. And as I got to thinking about it more, it's possible. It's possible that this lady took off, knew about some scheme or plot or plan, either for her life or her money. She just got out or beat two cancers. I don't know how recent her remission was. The other thing is, could this journal be a ledger? Possibly. So the Six of Swords to me is movement. To me, sometimes it's fake moving. To me, in a love situation, this is fake leaving. Like you're going to leave, but you're going to come back. I've seen it in a lot of cases that I personally read for where the body's been moved, the person has moved. Plenty of times where they've left their old life and started a new life. And maybe that's why with Trevor, maybe Trevor was, if this is, well, this was me asking, is Trevor guilty? It seems like 1, 2 of Cups, he was way too in love with her. He's known her since she was a child. 8 of Cups is usually abandoning something, escaping a journey, walking away from something. He wasn't walking away from her. So maybe he did innocently help her. Maybe, and if this isn't Trevor, maybe there was an original plan to do something to her, and that person let her know what the plan was, and then that person double crossed whoever came up with the plan and got her out of here. Please, God, let this be so. 4 things I want to ask. I wonder if Barry's name was on the house, the deed and the title. I know I saw somewhere, and I can't, it's not a usual page that I look at, but it had a lady listed as the owner of their house in Maysville. Who was listed as the executor of the estate? Did he only have life and state residency rights? And did her will list her oldest daughter as beneficiary? These are all things that I went through with my stepfather when my mother passed away at 54 to cancer. It was like, surprise, motherfucker. You ain't getting shit, comma. So, somebody might want to check that. The other thing I was wondering, could he have met, let me get the card, the widow at the graveyard? Could he have been doing some landscaping work at the graveyard? Possibly. That'd be a pretty big account. What else? So, could she have escaped? Maybe she hired, maybe the hired person double crossed and alerted her, and she got away. And then asking about who. Where's the question? Actually, it's here. Who was in? No, this was it male or female involved in her abduction, disappearance, or possible death? I've got the King of Wands here twice. Now could be another scenario. I've got the King of Wands also down here. So was it male or female involved? I've got the King of Wands, and then could Barry have been set up? I've got the King of Wands. That's a possibility. He could have been set up by this person, the King of Wands. I also got the guild member, and it did say an elementalist is part of a guild or could be a mechanic. What else was here? Oh, 4 swords, the 4 of pentacles, 5 of swords. So somebody trying to hold on to something, playing some mind games. Then the 5 of pentacles stuck out into, actually that might be the 5 of cups. Let me just check that. Nope, that's the 5 of pentacles. Financial hardship, loss. Okay. The other thing was, I was speaking of, when the High Priestess and the Empress come out, and the same spread, usually one's the other woman. It's the easiest way I can put that. What else? Oh, the other thing is, where are you? So, again with this, there could have been 3 people on the lower level involved with these 3 Knight of Pentacles, probably making some money off of this. Like I said, one could have been a couple. They do both have some horses up in here. So that's that. Okay. Let's ask some questions. That was the other thing I wanted to question. Could there have been some possible spell performed on Suzanne, some black magic? I did get the magician, the elementalist, who uses multiple elements to perform magic. And then like, was she, I don't know why I'm getting this. I know from experience, when you have cancer, you get cancer brain. Cancer brain. It's where you forget everything that really isn't important because you're just trying to survive. You cannot remember a lot of things. It's kind of like, I wouldn't, I don't know what it's like to have dementia, but I do know I went through a lot of spacey moments. I've watched a couple of friends with cancer go through these moments. So I'm wondering if it wasn't a spell. Was she like being slowly poisoned or something? I'm wondering if she like had mental anguish. Like, I wonder if mental anguish was manifesting. Sometimes that can bring on physical pain. It can bring on cancer. Um, Sometimes, believe it or not, a heartbreak can actually bring the cancer out because we already have the makings of cancer inside of us. You just need a traumatic event to wake it up and bring it out. So, I'm going to put this back. We'll ask questions. Alright, you guys, the other thing I wanted to say is, I know things have been put out there. This case reminds me a lot of Madeleine McCann, where a lot of false stories were being told and put out in the beginning to confuse people. I don't believe her disappearance was Mother's Day. I don't believe anything about this bike. I believe he went to Denver. Do I think it was because he never actually answered the question when Tyson asked him. I don't believe it unless it came from law enforcement. So a lot of this stuff was thrown out there. So when you ask about him coming home from Denver at 9 and this is a lot of this stuff was put out there because this is what somebody wanted you to believe. or us to believe. But I don't believe it. All right, let's go over her numbers. So she's got 2 aces, 3 twos. All right, 2 aces, a chord. 2 aces, trickery. 3, a chord. This also, what came out with all of her numbers, makes me think there is hope. So she's got 2 aces, which is trickery, 3 twos, which is a chord. I will read certain definitions. To give or grant someone power or access. 3 fours, unity. No, I'm sorry, 4 threes. 3 fours, a subject of revelation, revealing, disclosing of some truth or knowledge by communication with a deity or supernatural entity. So here we go back to the spell work, or was somebody possessed, seeing ghosts, something to that effect, or could just, I don't know. She's got 2 5s, vigils, so somebody stayed up all night, and this, I think, on the good side of this, on the one side of the coin, if this is her tricking, acting accordingly, unity, I think this is him with vigils, wondering where the heck she is. 4 6s, abundance. 3 8s, marriage. 3 9s, success. 2 10s, change. 3 knights, lively debate. 2 queens, sincere friends. And 2 kings, minor counsel. So, we'll go through this real quick. Something's telling me to use these, so I will. Suzanne, tell me about your numbers, please. Tell me about these numbers, what this means. Trickery. Huh. A baby. Okay. A chord. So acting like she's... oh, please, God, say this lady got away. Acting accordingly in the marriage. Unity. Jealousy.